Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Here I am back on the World of Tanks Replays website. We are going to look at, we've already done US, Germany, US, China, France, UK. It's time for Japan. Let's sort on Japan, and we are going to search for the most overpowered tank in the Japanese line. Is there a broken, overpowered tank in the Japanese line? Let's search by damage, and what do we get? Surprise, 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 STB1. STB1, 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 and STB1. But Klaus, there's not a lot of lines in the Japanese tech tree. Well, there's a heavy line, nowhere to be found. What does this tell you? Don't bother with the heavy line. Let's search on block damage and see if the Type 5 heavy dominates. Type 5, OI. An OI in the top 4. Of damage blocked. Okay, Type 5 OI, STB1, Type 5 and OI, and another STB1 on the bottom. The Type 5 Heavy cannot even dominate the results on damage blocked. Oh, you poor, poor Type 5. So is the STB1 overpowered? Let's check out the two top games here. We're going to download the top game here and the second one, and we're going to watch these two games and talk about the results a little bit more. First game in his very colorful STB1 is Abyssal Kitty. Abyssal Kitty from the RDDT clan. Shout out to you guys! He is going to give us a tutorial on exactly how to use the STB1. Now, what do these results mean, guys? Basically, the takeaway from this is if you're going to go down the Japanese tech tree, don't even bother with the heavies. Don't even bother. They're a complete and total utter waste of time. And the Type 5 Heavy is one of the worst Tier 10 heavy tanks in the game. To look at the top results and not even have the super Tier 10 top tier biggest heavy tank in the tech tree appear once, it's borderline unplayable. If you're going to play the Japanese tech tree, there's only one tank to go for, and that's this one, the STB1, which is ridiculously powerful. And in fact, I would say that almost all the other medium tanks in the tech tree, the Tier 5, the Tier 6, the Tier 7, the Tier 8, and the Tier 9, are almost all shit. Depending on, there might be a few of you saying, oh, I really enjoyed the Cheery. One time I was able to clip out an E75. He was AFK, but I got him. Yeah. They're almost all garbage. Almost the whole Japanese tech tree is garbage. Except for the STB1. The king of the Japanese tech tree. The STB1. And I know. They're going to have a few fun games in the OI. You saw the OI actually in the top 10 damage blocked. And that could be fun. Being an XP pinata for everyone. Everyone's shooting you. You can get the damage block mission done. And the derp guns can make you laugh every now and then. That's true. And, every dog has his day. So I'm sure I'm going to get some comments of, Klaus, I played my OI experimental and I got this much damage and I aced it and I love it. Well, that's good. Have a cookie. But to be consistently competitive, if you're striving to be a consistent, competitive, high win rate player, don't bother with the Japanese heavies. They're garbage. You cannot be consistent with them. They're too slow. Their armor is almost meaningless because you know why the Type 5 Heavy didn't have the top 10 damage block spots when we sorted there? Because when you get to Tier 9 and 10 and you're driving a Type Heavy, everyone will shoot heat and APCR premium ammo at you. Everyone. No one will shoot regular ammo at you. None. If someone shoots a regular ammo shot at you, you'll be like, what? Someone's playing his daddy's account? Your armor is almost meaningless. On top of that, the Type 5 Heavy has been nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed into shit. So now, you count the nerfs on the Type 5 Heavy. When it came out, it had a derp gun. that did 1400 damage, alpha, okay, a HE shell that did, if it penetrated, 1400 damage. If it didn't penetrate, you'd roll 500-600. It was kind of like a Death Star, but in a big, slow, heavy tank. And then Wargaming said, no, there's a lot of players complaining that the HE is hitting them and there's no skill involved. So they nerfed the gun from doing 1400 damage to doing like 900. A little less than the KV2. And it's at tier 10. Seriously, guys, the derp gun now has less alpha than the KV2. And the regular HE round has less penetration than the KV2, unless you use the premium HE round. Then they nerfed the speed of the Type 5 Heavy, and then they added some weak spots. And it's a hunk of garbage now. So if you play it, you have to pretty much play it not with the derp gun, but with the regular gun that shoots AP. And it has a high alpha gun, but it's just... There's other tanks that have high alpha that have gun depression and turret armor and some speed and some, you know, some what's the word? Variety. You can play them on a variety of maps. You can't. The only thing the Type 5 Heavy can do is go to a corner and side scrape. You can't play hull down. You can't go to a ridge line. You can't maneuver around the map. You can't do anything. Okay, that's enough bashing the Type 5 Heavy. I'm just trying to tell you guys, don't bother. It's a hunk of garbage. This tank, on the other hand, has been consistently buffed. Okay? When this tank first came out, the gun was troll. The gun was... It came out as kind of one of the highest DPM tier 10s, but it was balanced in the fact that its gun was really troll. It had very bad soft stats, and you missed a lot of shots. So you had to get close in, and then your armor just wouldn't hold up. It had the regular high alpha, 390 damage per shot, but really high DPM. But if you were at range, it was hard to hit anything, and your turret and your armor just wasn't good enough. But then the buffs started, and the two big buffs were, number one, they increased the rate of fire and lowered the alpha. So now you have a high DPM gun, little lower alpha per shot, but higher fire rate, more shots per minute. So you still have like fantastic DPM. The turret was buffed somewhat, and now they've added this. This happened a while ago. I'm just summarizing it. That they added the hydropneumatic suspension. So you went from having good gun depression to having ridiculous gun depression. And what happens with this tank now when you're on a ridgeline like this? Let's see if he's going to show us. He's going to take a couple of shots here. Let's see if he could just do some farming. Boom. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, thank you, teammate. So you can go to a ridgeline with this one. And if you're not a good player and you don't know how to work it, you just sit on the ridgeline and you're using your regular, I think, 10 degrees of gun depression like this. But to make it extreme, you move to the ridgeline and you have to be going less than, I believe, 10 kilometers an hour. So you can't be pushing the W key. You can't be going like a 20. See, you have to go to the ridgeline slowly, and then you can engage this hydropneumatic suspension. Like, he goes like this. He doesn't have it engaged here. But let's see if he does it. You have to slow the tank down and then point your reticle down lower, and you'll get an extra, I don't know how many degrees of gun depression to make it ridiculous. And what some good players can do is they can set up their extreme gun depression, and then press the, instead of W, you press, which one do you press where you go like half speed? R? Which is it? See, I don't know. Which key makes you go half speed? Or you just have to creep up to the ridge line with that extreme gun depression, and you can just, you basically, they don't even see your tank. They just see your gun and a tiny piece of your turret. And so some good players can just annihilate people on ridgelines with this tank. And you don't have to press X like the Swedish siege mode to engage the gun depression with. This was like the first one that they put this little feature on, but without having to press X. Oh, hello, you're still there. Goodbye. Oh, you bounced? Oh, well, let's say goodbye again. Poor guy. This tank will always reload faster than any other medium tank when you're fighting. A little lower alpha, but you reload faster. Well, let's see if he does use this gun depression here. How come you're not using the extreme gun depression? Can he do it? Is he going to do it? Yeah. Whoa! A little bit of spotting assist for Abyssal. While I've been babbling here, he's at 7,000 damage. Plus you have mobility and you've got concealment. It's a beautiful tier 10. If you're going to go for one of the tier 10 medium tanks, you can't go wrong with the STB1. But I guess what I'm trying to tell you, and I'm not doing a very good job here, is that a lot of average players don't get the full use of the STB1's gun depression, and me included. Sometimes I'll go to a ridgeline and I'll think, I'll think I'm driving a regular medium tank, and I'll use the keys and the controls like a regular one of my other tanks, and I'll poke the ridgeline, and I'm thinking I'm using the full gun depression, and I'm not, because I've approached the ridgeline too fast, and I've not engaged the hydro-pneumatic suspension, and so I exposed too much of the STB1. And what you have to do is, and I don't think he's showing us here, I think he's just having a really good game. Let's see if he does it here. He doesn't need to, because this guy's at range. See, he's not using the full gun depression. But anyway, he's just going to farm now. He's just going to farm. When you see it happening, you poke the ridgeline, and you're aiming as low as you can, and then when you stop, you aim a little bit lower, and the tank makes a little noise like and you can aim another 5 degrees lower, and you back up a bit so that you're not even showing barely any of your tank. This guy is just farming like a boss, and he bounced 750 off his turret. Beautiful. And I don't even think he's using the full gun depression there, guys. I don't believe he is. I would like, maybe I should have found a replay on El Haluf. If you spawn on El Haluf with an STB1, that's one of those maps where you have to win that corner where the rocks are, and those two ridge lines. Basically, everyone fights there. And whoever wins that spot gets to flank around and usually win the game. If you spawn in an STB1 and you notice the enemy team doesn't have a very good tank with gun depression, you go to that ridgeline and you use the gun depression properly, you're almost invincible. If you do it properly, the enemies can't hurt you. And it's just, GG. It's how much damage are you going to do? If you're a Muppet and you just poke the ridgeline recklessly, then, you're going to expose different parts of your tank and you're going to get pet. So, it's a great tank, but a lot of players, average players, will get it and go, I don't see what the big thing is. I tried it. I can't make it work. I like the higher alpha, or I like more armor, and that's because they're not using its strengths properly. Okay, here we go. Aim a little lower. Oh, look at this. This guy is just... You are one lucky bastard. He's just in the right place at the right time all game, and look at this DPM. Yeah, he got... Oh, Hadidi Kung Fu. He has hard steel ass. Did not penetrate. He's not done yet, guys. He's at I've been babbling here. This guy's at 11,000 damage. Holy shit. He's only got 2 shots left. And that's he doesn't get the last 2 shots. What a game. What a game, my friend. Let's look at the post-game stats here. Just incredible. 11,774 damage. It adds up so fast when you shoot so fast. Fantastic game, my friend. Let's start game number 2. Made some credits there, but a little bit of personal reserves running in the background. Game number 2. What is your name? Zodiel? Zodi. We'll call you Zodi from the Chess Clan. Shout out to you guys. Rook to Queen 7. He's got the skin. He does not know he's going to have the fantastic game yet. Isn't it funny when you start these games, just like any other game, and he has no idea that he's going to have the game of his life. Summary here, guys. STB1. Is it overpowered? Is it broken? No. It's just really, really good. It's in the hands of a great player. It is a absolute beast of a tier 10 tank that has the unique ability to be a monster on the ridgelines. Japanese tech tree line basically has one good tank in it, and that's this one. Alright? Forget the heavy line. If you're going to do the medium grind, this is the only one you want. Let's see if he plays this ridgeline like a boss. No, he's going right over the ridgeline. No, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that if I were you. No, he's going to expose his whole hull. This is not the position for an STB1. Is he actually going to make it work here? No. And make me eat my words? No, he's backing up. He realizes his error. It probably wasn't an error. He thought maybe there would be no enemies here and he would just keep moving forward and take map position. But now that he notices that there's enemies, is he going to use the hydro-pneumatic? Okay. Yeah, he's invincible here now, guys. Just as I said that, he lost his gun and he lost his thing. Use your hydro-pneumatic suspension. All these guys playing the STB1 and they're not using the full potential of the gun depression, but he's still in an absolutely perfect spot here. Now these shots are just penetrating easily. Has he mapped his shells differently? He's just going right through turrets and stuff. Well, let's have a look here. Yeah, he's put 330 pen. He's mapped the premium ammo to his #1 key. These people that spam so much heat and so much premium ammo, they actually map it to the #1 key. But hey, that's the story of all the great games, guys. You search the top games where people do 10,000 damage, and it's almost all premium ammo. You'd be hard to find if you search for the top games in a patch. Those games that are 10, 11, 12,000 damage. I challenge you to find one where someone's just shooting regular ammo. You just don't find them. That's just not how the game's designed. You know, get over it. Look at this beautiful position he's in. See, he's giving us a complete textbook example of how to use the STB1, but he's not, even this guy is not using his full gun depression. But it doesn't matter, he's almost invincible with this angle and his turret and these enemies. Oops, he missed one. They still keep coming. There's a hull down STB1 there that shoots every, 4.5, 5 seconds? And these Muppets are still holding their ground. Like, what do they hope to do? After they've been hit 28 times. Like if you're those enemies now, and you've been hit 28 times, what do you hope to achieve versus a hull down STB1? These are the ingredients you need for these ridiculous results. Guys, here's something, if you want to learn something from this video. If you're in a position like those guys, and you see an STB1, there's an STB1 shooting you like this, and every time he pokes up to shoot, all you see is his gun and a little pixel of his turret, just leave. Just back up and run away. Go to it. If you have a tank that has mobility, just go to another flank. If you're slow, just back up and wait. Just back up and wait for him to move up and expose himself. These guys just fed the Whoa, oh, wait a minute. There's a guy flanked. There, see, he did some damage. A guy with a brain actually did something. There, oh, and he accidentally bounced his shot. There's one of the enemies with a brain actually did something. Just, if you see, when you watch these videos, guys, sometimes people watch these videos and think, wow, that STB1 of it, I'm going to get that, you know, that's what I want to do. And that's what they learn in the video. But let's face it, most of us are not super unicoms, and most of us will not have a 10,000 damage game. Most of us won't, okay? So we watch these videos and we say, wow, that's how he did it, I'm going to do it. But then when you do it, you don't have 14 Muppets on the enemy team that just feed you. You have a good game, so you learn the strategy. But I think what's more important, like this guy, what is this guy? The guy attacked, and he's on a reload. Good job, sharp. You attacked the STB-1, hull down, while you didn't have any shells to shoot. That's a good strategy. Maybe the more important thing for the regular schmoes to learn is when there's an STB-1 that you're fighting against on a ridgeline like that, and you see him hull down, then don't bother. What a different game this would have been if all those enemies said, oh, there's a hull down STB-1 there, all these dead guys here, if they just turned around and left. It would have been a different game. But anyway, hey, what can you do, eh? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Guys, I hope you're enjoying this series. We're going to do all nations. If you are enjoying yourself, please leave some comments. Let me know, get some feedback, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're going to keep going. We're going to review all the nations, the greatest games, the best games, this patch, and see which nations have maybe an overpowered tank, which nations have a variety of tanks that you can grind down, or which nations have basically only 1 or 2 tanks that you should strive for. Maybe this series will give you some information if you're going down some new lines. Which tank should you grind? And I think the answer here is go for the medium line. Don't bother with the heavy line. We'll see what the results are for the rest of the nation. But this game is not over yet. This game is not over yet. All of a sudden there's a chieftain and an Emil. Those are good hull down tanks. And those guys are doing a good job defending. Okay, here we go. The Emil is just around the corner. Just around the corner. And oh, your teammate was in the way. Snap! He's having the game of his life now. He's realizing, hey, wait a minute, I'm close to 10,000 damage. Why am I being tentative? Snap! RNG is on my side now. This gun is amazing, guys. This gun is amazing. You can actually even trade with this guy now. Oops! It's beautiful. You're going to reload faster. Just beautiful. You will reload faster than any other medium tank. Except maybe one of the objects if they're equipped properly. What a game. What a game. Well done, my friend. Well done, my friend. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Look, he won steel wall on top of everything while he was hull down. Over 10,000 damage. He had a lot of Muppets on his team that didn't help, and a lot of Muppets on the enemy team that fed his DPM, and he emerged victorious. I'll catch you guys on the next one.